When it comes to your baby registry, it is so hard to know what is worth it, what is not. I'm going to help you out with that today. Let's jump right into an Amazon baby registry. We're first going to start off with a ring sling. So, Moby wrap, buckle carriers, then you have the ring sling. Completely up to you which method you want to go. I think it's a win personally, especially if you really believe you're going to use the item. Stay-at-home mom, somebody that wants to be really hands-on, whatever you think is going to be the most suitable for you, look up the safety and learn about that on your own. Let's keep going. Oh my goodness. So I'm loving these baby clothes. My reasoning, all of this, in a sense, not every single outfit, but could be boy or girl. Love how gender neutral it is. I also love how stylish it is, but yet it's comfortable. Okay, so take a little girl. I don't want them in lace that's gonna itch them or sequins. I want them comfortable in your cotton blend, whatever, but cute. And the key to that is ribbing. If you can get ribbing on the outfit, very cute. Little buttons really make an outfit look nice. So for me, all three of these are awesome sets. Absolutely love them. The main thing is that those rompers have snaps on the bottom for diaper changes, but everything else looks great. Now for me, one thing that I would actually consider skipping are the basic white onesies. So people use these as undershirts sometimes. For me, it's a question of, are you going to or are you not going to? What season is your baby born in? Those outfits above, I would not double them up, obviously, but say they're gonna wear a sleeper, do you put this under the sleeper? That is up to you, and just have in mind going into it if you would do that or not. Otherwise, these could be a waste. Moving into bath time. So we got some Honest Company, probably wash and shampoo, up to you what you put on baby's skin. We have a bath mitt kind of instead of a washcloth. Now, my only question with that is, I assume you would wash it every time you use it, kind of like a washcloth. So I would probably get more than one. I'd probably get 2 or 3. Depends on how frequently you bathe the baby and how frequently you wash towels. I would probably go the washcloth route, but again, that's just me. Then we have 2 hooded towels. These towels I see a lot. They're great. Love how neutral they are. However, if you can, try not to get baby towels. Try to get toddler towels. Bigger than the 30 or 32 inch. Try for 36 inch. They'll last longer. Now we have some very practical purchases. We have diapers and wipes, and I love that. Put them on your baby registry. Some people think it's tacky. I think it is genius because that is an item that you actually need. Moving right along, we've got a swirlable. Okay, so I think it shakes the milk and warms the bottle. Honestly, it looks really cheap to me. I would not get this item. I wouldn't get a bottle warmer, period, but I was a primarily breastfeeding mama, so completely up to you. The silicone bibs that we had something extremely similar, loved them. Now, these aren't good for breastfeeding and bottle feeding, they're silicone, they're not comfy, but once they are eating food, these are great. They don't have to go in the laundry with cloth bibs. Instead, you just wipe them down in your sink and they're good to go. They can also typically go in the dishwasher as well. Then we have some anti-colic bottles. These look really goofy, to be completely honest. And honestly, does the bottle prevent colic, or is colic just something your baby has in their belly, within them? Can the bottle really help with that? I don't know. Might be a gimmick. Looks like a weird shape. When it comes to bottles, what I recommend is whatever you get, you stick with it. Don't get 5 different bottles because then you're going to have parts and pieces to 5 different bottles. Moving right along, we have burp cloths. I think those look cute. I mean, I didn't use that brand personally, but they look really cute. I would go for them. Then we have a milk warmer, but then it looks like we also have a bottle warmer maybe both of these are portable on the go and they're not sure which one they want to go with. For me, again, try just using room temperature water, or maybe if you're somewhere, ask somebody if they could warm it up, or I don't know. I don't think it's that serious. Then the decision of high chair or booster seat. For me, it's a booster seat in the kitchen, not a high chair. Look at the base of this thing. Tripping hazard, takes up a ton of space. It's not for me. We got a booster seat that fits in a chair at our kitchen table. I want to say $15 off Facebook Marketplace, and we love it. Would never get anything else. We still have it. We keep it for our nieces and nephews when they come over, and I'll probably keep it forever because I literally love it that much. $15 off Facebook Marketplace, over $193 for this massive high chair. Don't get pressured into buying things, okay? You do you. Tailor your baby registry to you and your life. Then we have the electric nasal aspirator. Everybody thinks they need these. We've never had one, have survived. Then we have some Ryan and Rose pacifiers. Now, I do want to mention, if you like any of these products, I will link all of them in the description. There will be a link probably in the first pinned comment as well, where you can go and check everything out. All right, they're all Amazon affiliate links. You're welcome to explore and add things to your baby registry, or get them if you forgot to get them and your baby shower's already happened. That's okay too. Carrying on. Next, we have some crib sheets. So a 2-pack, I like 2, maybe 3. I like gender neutral, so you can use it for all your kids. All right, these look great, very affordable. Then we have a breast pump. So this looks pretty nice overall. And I would say if you plan to pump, get a nice pump. If you don't want to pump, don't stress it as much. Like me, I directly nursed my babies. I got a pump free through my insurance and called that good enough for me. However, if you're going to go back to work and you're like, I want them to have breast milk, I got a pump at work, get a good pump. Then we have silverettes or the silver nursing cups. I didn't have these. I survived. I breastfed 2 babies just fine without them. They're also very expensive. So for me, not worth it in my opinion. Then we have reusable breast pads. You can get disposable or reusable. I did a combination of both. Reusable, I would say, is better for the environment. If you're gonna have a bunch of kids, you can keep using them over and over again. The problem is, like, once you're done with them, nobody wants to buy like used breast pads. So I don't know how environmental that is. I actually kept mine though, and I'm using them as like almost like a face washer type wipe and a makeup remover. So trying to be a little bit environmental there. I also would only get one color, that way you don't have to like match them or worry about them showing through your bra or your shirt. Just get like skin color, white, something like that. Then we have the Haka Ladybug Collector. So Haka is the brand. This is the Ladybug Collector. It just sits in there and kind of like catches drips. I would not have used this. I would not have collected enough to make it worth the discomfort of wearing it. For me, I would collect a little bit like in the nursing pad, that little bit of leakage. And then when I nursed my baby on one side, I wore the actual Haka, like, you know, the one that we're usually told is the Haka, on the other side. And I would get an ounce or 2 depending on where I was in my breastfeeding journey. So for me, this milk collector would actually be a skip and would not be worth it in my opinion. Organic nipple butter. I didn't use this brand, but nipple butter, absolutely worth it if you plan to breastfeed at all. For me, if I had to have one item, it would be the nipple butter. You don't need a ton of it. Just get a small little container, maybe 2, maybe 1 for at home and 1 for in your purse or diaper bag. It's a short-lived item, but an important item. So worth it for me. Next, we have a car seat toy, $20.99. These things are so expensive. You can just clip any old toy onto their car seat. You can just throw things back at them. It's not that serious. When it comes to toys, I say go cheap, especially for the baby years. Then we've got the car mirror. That's a great price. Those can be really expensive sometimes, like more like $25 for a simple mirror. So not a bad price there. You only have 1 listed. You might want 2, 1 for mom and for dad's vehicle. Then we have a portable stroller fan. This stroller fan can go on anything, car seat, stroller. It could go on a beach chair when they're 15. You know, it doesn't scream baby. It's something that can be used forever. The main thing is keep it away from their hair. Their fingers shouldn't fit in it, but hair would always be a concern for me. So keep it safe. Next, we have a stroller organizer. A lot of strollers come with a empty bar, like it's just bare. So you probably are gonna want one of these. It depends on your stroller. Here we have the Safety First Smooth Ride. It is the stroller itself. The seat that is sitting here, which can come out, you can put the car seat in it and make them face either direction. And then you have the base for in the car. When you get 4 items like this, it's a great deal in my opinion. I really do think it's the way to go. Just a car seat alone can cost $231. So for me, this is the way to go. We went the Graco and we did a jogger stroller. I will link in the description a section of like my favorite products that aren't on this baby registry, but ones I personally use. I wanted a jogger so we could go to the apple orchard, the pumpkin patch, and have those big wheels. So up to you and your values, but I do think a travel system is the way to go. Okay, so next we're gonna get into some interesting products. First, we have a prop or like a block for tummy time or for, it says reflex. I would not get that, okay? I just wouldn't. I'd be worried about them rolling off it constantly when they're itty bitty, and then when they're big, they just, I don't know. For $37, I would not get that. I would instead get a bouncer seat and have them sit reclined. I don't believe in getting a ton of seats, like not a swing and a bumbo and this and that, but I would get the bouncer. They're pretty affordable. Then we have some bone broth, like powder or mix. I assume mom is just trying to take care of herself postpartum. So cool. I'm open to putting some postpartum care items on here. Not too many. It's a baby registry, not a mommy registry, but a little give and a take. Then this next one I've never seen on a baby registry, but I do know what it is. It's a top hat potty. This is for elimination communication or like infant potty training. So basically it's a tiny little toilet. You can put baby on it. What I think is interesting is I don't see a lot of other potty training products, and I guess you don't necessarily need them, but maybe like some like wet pads or kind of like a mattress protector, but for your floor, Maybe if they wanted to do that like on the carpet where they're not wearing a diaper, maybe wet bags for in the diaper bag in case they do have an accident. I'm just interested to see if there's any other supplies. They seem very, very minimal. So we'll see if anything else comes up. Then we have a heating pad. I'm assuming that's for mom. I think that's a little bit weird to put on here, but to each their own. Pacifier clips, love pacifier clips for out in public when the passy can fall on the ground and be gross. So love that, love how simplistic and how cheap they are. You don't need a $25 pacifier clip. It's not important. Then we got some silicone spoons, beautiful set, love that. The only thing with silicone is just making sure that it doesn't get really soapy. Maybe try eating off one of those spoons after you've had it for a year and see if it tastes like anything weird, you know? Be careful with that. Be careful putting them in the dishwasher. So just keep that in mind. All right, we have a diaper bag. Ours is very similar, if not the exact same one. Love a diaper bag. You don't have to have one. You can use a purse or any other bag, but it is nice to have. And when we outgrew the diaper bag, didn't really need it anymore, don't take it in places. What I did was I converted it. It stays in my car and it's an extra outfits, medication bag. It's kind of like that trunk organizer of all my kids' stuff. So even once they've outgrown it, you still can use it. Now we have a diaper changing pad on the go. Love that. That's very practical, very simple. I love how minimalistic it is. Some diaper bags do come with a changing pad though, so keep that in mind. Then we have an 8-in-1 convertible crib. I hate convertible cribs. I think leave it as a crib for all your kids, let them all go through it and then get them in bed after. Because what happens if you buy a convertible crib is you bought the crib and then you convert it and then you have another kid, you got to buy another one. You got to start over. So it irks me really bad. Can you tell? Then we have another tummy time prop. I wonder if they're choosing between the two. I, again, probably wouldn't get either. And then we have another top hat potty. Again, wondering if they're choosing between the two or if for that they might want two, one for in the car and one for at home is what I'm thinking possibly there. Then we have a skin repair. I'm assuming this is like diaper rash spray. I'm not familiar with this brand, but cool beans. And then we have some socks. It looks like these are grippy socks on the bottom. I like a grippy sock. So I don't really love newborn socks. They slip off, but once they're getting older, you know, more like 6 months plus, then I like socks a little bit more. And with that, we're at the end of the baby registry. So what do you think for you? What was worth it? What was not? All right, when it comes to our baby registry, we want to stick to the essentials. If you feel like you need help, I offer a baby registry review service. I do something similar to this, only I know what you're doing in life. You tell me, are you going to work? Are you going to put them in daycare? Are you going to breastfeed? Let's tailor your baby registry to you, not your mom, not your sister, not your best friend.